welcome back to another video feature of the Immersive Worlds Handbook. As you can see behind me, I'm looking at, and you're looking at, the iconic Marina Bay Sands Hotel Casino. And as I'm spending some time in Singapore focusing on amazing themed and immersive spaces, I certainly have to stop and give you as much of an insider view as possible of this amazing casino that is close to well over $4 billion in terms of the cost. And I started outside and wanted to show you the outside view first because, of course, what makes this casino iconic is the postmodern architecture that's used, and that stands out quite extensively. If you've been to Singapore, you know this. Stands out quite extensively in the Singapore skyline. It's also part of a very vibrant area of the city. In fact, just behind me, as I've shown in other video features, is the equally significant, if you can see them there, artificial trees that is part of the Gardens by the Bay complex. But in any case, let's focus back on the Marina Bay, and I want to take you inside and show you all there is to see about this amazing casino hotel in Singapore. So let's go inside and take a look. So one of the first things we notice here inside is the dramatic sense of architecture that's been applied and interior design to this section of the mall inside the Marina Bay Sands. And I think probably a significant form of inspiration here in terms of this design was thinking about the scale of shops in Las Vegas. Certainly when we think of Caesars, when we think of the Planet Hollywood, and many of the other malls in Las Vegas, we have a sense of scale, we have a sense of drama, and of course, it's not just the interior design and the architecture that creates this significance. It also relates to the fact that you have to have high-end retail. And certainly, in this sense, I believe the Marina Bay Sands does succeed. And in another video feature, I'll be focusing specifically on some of the design aspects of this mall. But overall, at this moment, let me say that I think that the mall inside the Marina Bay Sands plays a rather significant role in terms of connecting the spaces. Just down this pathway and to the left, you have the casino space and also the hotel check-in area, the atrium that I'll show you a bit later. And as you can see here in some of the stills that I shot during my visit to the Marina Bay Sands, certainly in looking at these images, you might have the feeling that you are indeed in Las Vegas. Again, the stress here is on the high sense of luxury, designer brands, chains, and stores that represent the top in retail around the world. And looking here as well, you could see the indoor skating arena, and certainly you can think of other great malls like the Galleria in Houston, Texas, that has such a feature. And here also Venetian gondolas, a la the Venetian in Las Vegas, of course. And now we're entering the atrium area in the hotel. And I would say that the sense of drama that perhaps you do expect in a Las Vegas hotel casino, not that that has to be the only point of comparison, but it is a significant one. I felt that perhaps this wasn't achieved as significantly as I might have expected. At the same time, I would say that this atrium space and the sense of verticality was significant. And here we're actually entering the casino area. And for me, the casino was somewhat of a surprise. There's a rather extensive check-in procedure required with showing your passport and doing bag searches, and certainly I think it reflects some of the cultural differences that we would see in Singapore as compared to the United States. I was thinking about these differences and focusing extensively on the fact that when you go to Las Vegas, the spaces are so open, and perhaps too much so. Another thing I noticed in these shots here of the casino is the dominance of the table games. And again, I felt that this was a significant contrast with the reliance on slot machines that we often see in Las Vegas casinos. Another thing I noted in reading some reviews on TripAdvisor was that many people said that they felt that the interior design features were too minimalistic and not as spectacular as you might see in Vegas casinos, examples being perhaps the Aria at City Center in Las Vegas. And as we take a look here, we see a bit more of the design space of the mall. And I do think that the Marina Bay Sands does has some very significant design aspects and of course architectural aspects. And again, I would point to the mall and this particular mural that was focusing on the past and the present of retail. And this board here also reflects, I think, an emphasis on lifestyle and an indication of the significance of this hotel casino resort in terms of Singapore, in terms of the identity of Singapore as this iconic piece of architecture and form of lifestyle space. And you can see here actually a piece by Anish Kapoor, Sky Mirror. And one of the interesting things I noted at the resort is this emphasis on art, and indeed after my visit I found an art path diagram or booklet that is very similar actually to the same booklet that you see at the City Center in Las Vegas, which features also significant artwork. And we can see here a piece by Ned Kahn, Rain Oculus, which unfortunately during my visit wasn't working. If it were, it's quite a dramatic sense of water pouring into the Oculus. And this was a Ned Kahn piece that was in operation. And I've left some of the audio of it because I feel that the audio of this particular piece adds to the sense of drama and the sense of majesty. And again, I would say that many design elements and many of these art installations that you see at the Marina Bay Sands do establish a true sense of significance of the overall hotel, casino, and resort. As you can see here, I think the key feature that is hard to miss anywhere in Singapore, just about anywhere, is their dramatic architecture. And if you have a chance to look up the work of Moshe Safdie, certainly do. This architect is world-renowned, and the design of this casino, I think, reflects this sense of architectural innovation. I didn't have a chance to visit the Sky Park at the top, but it's equally significant. There's a reflecting pool, or rather infinity pool, and guests actually can visit gardens on top of the Sky Park, which further reflects this emphasis of combining the natural and the cultural in Singapore. And so I think in many senses, as we look at some images here at night, they're dramatic. The most dramatic aspect of the Marina Bay Sands is the fact of its iconic stature within Singapore. Certainly representations of the city, souvenirs, postcards, famous shows on TV, reality TV shows have featured this iconic structure, have focused on it as an emphasis, as something that really gives the city of Singapore a sense of identity. At the same time, as I said here, as we look at the dramatic Helix Bridge, which I'll offer a feature in another video, at the same time, as I said, there are elements that are different in terms of the design, in terms of the retail, the casino, but we shouldn't forget the fact that this is an adaptation, and any themed or immersive space, of course, must be adapted to local culture. So thanks for listening to this video feature, and come back for additional video features of the Immersive World's Handbook.